Everyone keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go.
Look in my eyes, tell me your tale, do you see the road? I'm out to my soul, and tell me the size whenever the smoke clear out of my face and my picture perfect, do I look fine?
Nah, I'ma do my own thing.
Look in my eyes, tell me your tale, do you see the road? I'm out to my soul, and tell me the size whenever the...
Are you ready to be entertained? Let's get into a smash or pass movie reaction. Absolutely. This is called The Birds, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's called The Birds. Good job, Andres. Thank you. This came out in 1963. Clearly, I wasn't alive. I wasn't even thought of, y'all. But we're gonna jump into this. This is a horror film. It is damn near 3 hours long. Deals with a chic socialite, Melanie Daniels. Follows him into his hometown bearing a gift of lovebirds. Appreciates flirtation and impulse. However, upon her, well, why does it say Melanie follows him? Chic socialite Melanie follows him into his hometown bearing a gift. However, that doesn't make any sense. However, upon her arrival, the bird population operates. This summary, I don't know who wrote the summary for The Birds for where I'm looking at right now, but it don't make no sense. I don't know what it's saying. At first they said Melanie was a man, I thought, and then we switched to Melanie is a female. Anyways, there's somebody with some birds and they're going to a town and they started a whole movie with birds and the birds go crazy, apparently. By the picture, it looks like Melanie is screaming for help. Let's get into this. I think that my mom used to talk about this show, or movie I should say, because was it my mom or was it my grandmother? I can't remember who it is in my family who was terrified of birds at one time. And I remember going to the park on Long Island, and I was with my sister, it was me, my grandmother, and probably my grandpa, I think my grandpa. And I remember, this is so random, but I remember my grandma wanted to go feed the geese, which you're not supposed to do. It had signs all over. Sorry, grandma, I'm ratting you out. But my grandma was feeding the geese, and these geese decided that my grandma was not feeding them quick enough, and they attacked her. I feel like my grandma maybe had fell too. Maybe she didn't fall. I'm turning this story dark. I think she just kind of ran. But I remember all of us like dying laughing, like why are all the geese came out the water, like they were flying down. So just imagine a bunch of geese chasing your grandmother through a park. Like it was crazy. It was actually quite crazy. But that's the only thing I really remember about birds. And I also remember that I always wanted to have a parakeet or a parrot. I think that one of my friends had both, and I realized they started talking. A parakeet, parakeets never shut up, and parrots keep talking. And a cockatoo, those talk too. Lord, yeah, my friend had one of them too. They're gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous animals. But if, I don't know, the noise population or noise pollution, I should say, is drastic with these things. Anyways, you're like, what is going on? Petland discounts. Can you please get into the reaction? Okay, I hear you. You want to see this in a full reaction? The links are down below. And while you're down there, please click the like button, share, and don't forget to comment. Now, without further ado, let's jump into Smash or Pass movie reaction, The Birds, and find out exactly what this movie has got to give. That's fucking weird. She's gorgeous.
Oh, hello, Miss Daniels.
Have you ever seen so many gulls?
I was hoping you'd be a little late. You see, he hasn't arrived yet.
Oh, but you said 3 o'clock.
Let's get them from India when they're just baby chicks, and then we have...
Well, this one won't be a chick, will it?
I guess maybe I'd better phone. They said 3 o'clock.
Well, maybe you'd better deliver him. Let me give you my address.
I'm sure they're on the way. Would you mind if I call?
Oh, is this the man that she's obsessed with?
I wonder if you could help me.
What? Yes, what is it you're looking for, sir?
Lovebirds. These are for my sister for her birthday, you see, and as she's only going to be 11, do you happen to have a pair of birds that are this friendly?
That bird shouldn't be in a cage.
Those lovebirds?
No, those are redbirds. Here we are, lovebirds.
Those canaries.
Doesn't what make me?
Having all these poor little innocent creatures caged up like this. Is there an ornithological reason for keeping them in separate cages?
Protect the species.
Yes, I suppose that's important, especially during the molting season.
Are you sure you wouldn't like to see a canary instead? We have some very nice canaries.
All right, may I see it, please?
In your hand?
Oh.
There we are.
Oh, there.
Wonderful.
Back in your gilded cage, Melanie Daniels.
What did you say? I don't know you.
Ah, but I know you.
How?
We met in court. Don't you remember one of your practical jokes that resulted in the smashing of a plate glass window? Not too keen on practical joking.
Well, what do you call your lovebird story, if not
I really wanted the love. Thought you might like to know what it's like to be on the other end of a gag. What do you think of that?
I think you're a lout. And I'm glad you didn't get your lovebirds.
Oh, I'll find something else.
Who was that man?
I have no idea.
Oh! She's not done with you, sir! WJH003.
The minor bird would be here later this afternoon if you care to come back.
No, you'd better send it. Daily News? It's Melanie Daniels. Could you get me the city desk, please? Hello, Charlie. Melanie. I want you to do a favor for me. Would you call the Department of Motor Vehicles for me? Find out who owns this license plate. Is Daddy in his office?
Daddy?
No, I don't want to break in on a meeting. Tell him I'll see him later. Do you have any lovebirds?
I can order them for you.
How soon?
Probably have them here by tomorrow morning. Would that be all right?
That would be just fine.
Some of those birds in there were very exotic. Those are lovebirds, I think.
Is that for Mitch Brenner? He won't be back until Monday. I mean, if those birds are for him.
Monday? Bodega Bay. Where's that?
Up the coast about 60 miles north of here.
It's a nosy neighbor.
It's an hour and a half by freeway or 2 hours if you take the coast highway.
It's like, damn it. Oh, she gonna go travel to him? She's so happy. What do you miss back in the day? U.S. Post Office.
I'm looking for a man named Mitchell Brenner.
Yeah,
Where does he live?
right here, Bodega Bay.
Oh, yes, I know, but where? On the other side of the bay? Yes.
And the White House?
Yes.
That's where the Brenners live. That's Lydia and the 2 kids.
The 2 kids?
Yeah, Mitch and the little girl.
I want to surprise them.
Oh,
I don't want them to see me arrive.
you could get yourself a boat and cut right across the bay to their dock. Should we ever handle an outboard boat?
Oh, of course.
Stalker, and everybody tells the stalker where he lives.
The little girl's name?
Alice, I think. Harry, what's the little Brenner girl's name? Little house with a red mailbox. That's where Annie Hayworth, the school teacher, lives. Name's Alice for sure.
Can I have the boat in about 20 minutes?
All these men are staring at her like that. Sheesh. She's kind of crazy.
Who is it?
Me?
Who's me?
Miss Hayworth?
Yes.
I'm Melanie Daniels. I'm sorry to bother you. The man at the post office sent me. He said you could tell me the name of the little Brenner girl.
Kathy? Which is why the mail never gets delivered to the right place in this town. Oh, I'm sorry, Smoke. Did you want to see Kathy about something?
Well, not exactly.
Are you a friend of Mitch's?
No, not really.
Are you planning on staying long?
No, just a few hours. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound so mysterious.
Actually, it's none of my business. Did you drive up from San Francisco by the Coast Road?
Yes.
Is that where you met Mitch? I guess that's where everyone meets Mitch.
Now, you sound a bit mysterious, Miss Hayworth.
Oh, pretty. What are they?
Lovebirds.
Good luck, Miss Daniels.
Thank you.
What's her deal? I can't wait till she gets out this car. This car is so loud. Now I know why this movie is like 3 hours long. We're at the docks. We're at the docks. We're at the docks, docks. Watch her gonna stare at her like she's mean.
Do you have a boat for Miss Daniels?
Yes, ma'am. It's the one right below.
Oh! I would never, ever go in that thing. I'm sure they can hear you, girl. Are those birds in the water? Those are big ass birds. She's gonna go inside that person's house? This lady is crazy. Damn, he got there really quick.
Damnest thing I ever saw. I don't know. It seemed to swoop down at you deliberately. Oh, you're bleeding, too. Let's take care of that.
That bird knew you were a crazy girl.
What happened, Mitch?
Gull hit her.
A gull?
A gull?
Might need a tetanus shot.
I had a booster before I went abroad last May.
A gull? Why is everybody staring at her? Well, now she's bleeding, so now they're really gonna stare.
Had a man trip and fall in the parking lot once. Sued me before I could bat an eyelash.
I don't think Miss Daniels is going to sue any.
Mr. Brenner, what is that handkerchief around your neck?
So you're a lawyer. What kind of law?
Criminal.
Is that why you want to see everyone behind bars?
You didn't see the lovebirds?
Your sister, those birds. She said it was her birthday. Besides, I was coming up anyway.
Who's your friend?
Annie Hayworth, the school teacher.
How do you know Annie?
We went to school together.
How long are you staying up here?
The weekend.
I think you came up to see me.
Now, why would I want to see you of all people?
A little trouble to find out who I was and where I lived.
No, it was no trouble at all. I simply called my father's newspaper. I've no manners, you're arrogant and conceited, and I wrote you a letter about it, in fact. I'd say I like your seagulls much either. I come all the way up here to...
But you were coming up anyway, remember? Mother, I'd like you to meet Melanie Daniels. Miss Daniels, my mother.
How do you do?
Miss Daniels brought us some birds from San Francisco.
Oh.
For Kathy, for her birthday. Where is she? As a matter of fact, Miss Daniels is staying up here for the weekend, so I've already invited her for dinner. For the trouble of bringing those birds.
Oh, I couldn't possibly. You did say birds.
Yes, lovebirds. Oh, we couldn't let you get away without thanking you in some small way. And you hadn't met Kathy. What time is dinner, Mother?
7 o'clock, the same as usual.
I'll pick you up. Where are you staying?
Annie may have made other plans. I'll have to see. Besides, I can find my own way.
We will be waiting for you. How's your head?
Oh, much better, thank you.
Why is somebody staring at her?
I was wondering... that sign there.
Well, I was planning on renting it for a longer
Oh,
time.
I would appreciate it. I've tried everywhere in town. They're all full.
Well, it's utilitarian, I'll say that.
No, I just picked up some things for the night at the general store. May I use your phone? I'd like to call home.
I just put some coffee on the stove. Don't they ever stop migrating?
The women in this movie are gorge, including the mother.
Hi! Miss Daniels? Oh, they're beautiful. They're just what I wanted.
We've been out back looking at the chickens. Something seems to be wrong with them.
There's nothing wrong with those chickens, Mitch. Whose side are you on?
Merely quoting the law, dear.
Never mind the law. This won't take long, Miss Daniel. Hello, Fred? Lydia Brenner. Fred, that feed you sold me is no good. The chicken feed. Yeah, now you know chickens as well as I do, and when they won't eat, there's just something wrong with what they're being fed, that's all. What's he got to do with it?
Is that your father?
Fred, I don't care how many sacks of feed you sold him. My chicken... This afternoon, well, that just proves what I'm saying. The feed you sold us, maybe I better go over and see him.
Maybe.
You don't think there's something going around, do you? No, Fred, they don't seem sick at all. They just won't eat. Well, I'll try to go over and see him. Maybe he had a call from Grand Fawcett a while ago. His chickens won't eat either. He sold Mr. Fawcett a different brand. You don't think they're getting sick, do you, Mitch?
I still don't understand how you knew I wanted lovebirds.
Your brother told me.
Mitch knows a lot of people in San Francisco. Of course, they're mostly hoods. He's the first to admit it. He spends half his day in the detention cells at the Hall of Justice.
In a democracy, Kathy, everyone is entitled to a fair trial.
You know all that democracy jazz. They're still hoods.
Excuse me, Kathy.
Are you coming to my party tomorrow?
I don't think so.
Don't you like us?
Oh, darling, of course I do.
Don't you like Bodega Bay? He says San Francisco's like an anthill at the foot of a bridge. If you do decide to come, don't say I told you about it. It's supposed to be a surprise party. Then when I get home here, all the kids will jump out. Oh, won't you come? Won't you please come?
I don't think so.
How long have you known her?
Now, I told you, dear, we met yesterday.
She was selling birds.
Oh, no, I just led her into believing that I believed she was.
Forgive me. I suppose I'm just naturally curious about a girl like that. She's very rich, isn't she?
Yeah, I suppose so. The father's part owner of one of the big newspapers.
She is the one who jumped into a fountain in Rome last summer, isn't she? Well, actually, the newspaper said she was naked.
Yes, I know, dear. I think I can handle Melanie Daniels by myself.
As long as you know what you want, Mitch.
Will I be seeing you again?
San Francisco's a long way from here.
Maybe we could go swimming or something. Mother tells me you like to swim.
How does Mother know what I like to do?
I guess we read the same gossip columns.
Oh, that newspaper that ran that story happens to be a rival of my father's paper.
You're just a poor, innocent victim of circumstance.
Oh, yes, that's the truth, but I was pushed into that fountain, and that's the truth, too.
You didn't go to school again?
No.
And you didn't come up here to see her?
No.
You were lying?
Yes, I was lying. I wrote the letter. It said, Dear Mr. Brenner, I think you need these lovebirds after all. They may help your personality.
Jumping into a fountain in Rome.
I told you what happened.
You don't expect me to believe that.
Oh, I don't give a damn what you believe.
Do you want?
I thought you knew. I want to go through life jumping into fountains naked. Good night.
Finally, we're getting to the birds.
Miss Daniels, is that you?
Yes.
I hope so.
Hi. Was that cut beginning to bother you?
No, it's not the cut that's bothering me.
Would you like some brandy?
If you have some, I'd love it.
I'll get it. Why don't you sit down, Miss Daniels? Oh, would you like a sweater or something, a quilt?
No, no, thank you.
It's a bit chilly here at night sometimes, especially if you're over near the bay. Well, how do you like our little hamlet?
I despise it. Where are you from originally, Annie?
San Francisco.
How did you happen to come up here?
A friend invited me up for a weekend a long time ago. I see no reason for being coy about this. It was Mitch Brenner. I guess you knew that anyway. It's been over and done with a long time ago.
Annie, there's nothing between Mr. Brenner and me.
Maybe there's never been anything between Mitch and any girl. I was seeing a lot of him in San Francisco. Then one weekend he invited me up to meet Lydia. She seemed a trifle distant.
A trifle?
I got back to San Francisco. I spent days trying to figure out exactly what I'd done to displease her. I simply existed. So what's the answer? Jealous woman, right? Now that I'm no longer a threat, we're very good friends.
Why did she object to you?
Afraid of any woman who would give Mitch the one thing Lydia can give him. Love. She's only afraid of being abandoned.
Someone ought to tell her she'd be gaining a daughter.
She already has a daughter.
What about Mitch? Didn't he have anything to say about this?
He'd just been through a lot with Lydia after his father died. He didn't want to risk going through it all again.
What are you doing here in Bodega Bay?
I wanted to be near Mitch. You see, I still like him a hell of a lot. And I don't want to lose that friendship. No, I wasn't asleep. Yes, just a little while ago. It's Mitch. For you.
Fine, thank you. No trouble at all. I simply followed the road. There's no need to apologize. I can understand. Well, I couldn't. I have to get back to San Francisco. No, I wouldn't want to disappoint Kathy, but... All right, yes, I'll be there. He wants me to go to Kathy's party tomorrow afternoon. I said I would.
Get out of my house!
My luggage. Do you think I should go?
Oh, that's up to you. Never mind Lydia. Do you want to go?
Yes.
Someone there?
Hello?
Who is it?
Ooh, a bird.
Poor thing. Probably lost his way in the dark.
There's a full moon.
Ooh.
Oh, I really shouldn't have any more. I'm driving.
Well, actually, I'm trying to get you to stay for dinner. What's so important in San Francisco?
Well, I have to get to work tomorrow morning, for one thing. Well, on Mondays and Wednesdays, I work for the Traveler's Aid at the airport. Tuesdays, I take a course in general semantics at Berkeley. Finding new four-letter words. Sending a little Korean boy through school. We actually raise money for it. So when I came back, I thought it was time I began... Oh, I don't know, finding something again.
What about Fridays?
Fridays? They're free. I sometimes go to bird shops on Fridays.
Nice, innocent little day.
Oh, yes. I have an Aunt Tessa. Have you got an Aunt Tessa? I'm giving her a minor bird when she comes back from Europe. Minor birds talk.
You need a mother's care, my child.
Not my mother's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ditched us when I was 11 and ran off with some hotel man in the East. You mean it's better to be ditched?
No, I think it's better to be loved.
I don't know where she is. Maybe I ought to go join the other children.
That's like it's bipolar. She's different personalities, this lady.
Hey!
Help me get the children into the house.
Oh, no! What is God? Oh! Those are some gangster birds.
So have they gone, Mitch?
I think so.
Fell when I was in the boat yesterday. The one at Annie's last night, and now...
Last night? What do you mean? Stay and have something to eat before you start back, huh? I'd feel a lot better.
I really want you to have this roast beef. Hi, kids.
Why didn't Annie stay for dinner?
Said something about going home to take a call from her sister.
Where'd you want this coffee?
In on the table, honey.
I think you ought to stay the night, Melanie. We have an extra room upstairs and everything.
If I go across to Santa Rosa, I'll come out on the freeway much earlier, won't I?
You'll be hitting all the heavy traffic going back to San Francisco.
Just listen to those lovebirds.
Mitch?
Oh, Mitch, you're not doing much. Oh, she left him.
It's a sparrow, all right.
We know what it is, Al.
Birds are attracted by light, you know. Sure is a peculiar thing.
All right, but we've got to do something. A bird will panic in an enclosed room, but they didn't just get in. They came in right down the chimney. In the middle of the party, some seagulls came down at the children.
If you make any kind of a disturbance near them, they just come after you.
Al, the children were playing a game.
I mean, birds just don't go around attacking people without no reason. You know what I mean?
Get them out the house.
Maybe you ought to put some screen on top of your chimney. You want some help cleaning up?
Things are in the car. Do you want to go with me?
All right.
Well, anything else I can do, Mitch?
The mother's
Night,
having
Lydia?
the worst night.
Sure is peculiar.
I'm gonna eat this whole box of Cheez-Its before this movie is over.
Good morning, George. Is Mr. Fawcett around?
I ain't seen him this morning, but he ought to be in there.
Mr. Fawcett! Everybody just walks into
Dad,
each
are
other's
you
houses. Ooh, he's dead. Oh my God. Yes, honey, you better run down that hallway. I'm gonna run all the way home like this. Yo, she's out. She's out.
Mother!
Mother!
Al Malone, the deputy, just called. He wants me over at the Fawcett place. Some detectives from Santa Rosa will be there.
Be careful, please.
And you be careful.
Anne's gonna be very mad at you, Melanie.
Where's Mitch?
Al Malone wanted him out at the Fawcett farm.
And he saw.
Oh, he must have. They sent for the Santa Rosa police.
Do you think Kathy's all right at the school?
Yes, I'm sure she's fine.
And they have such big windows at the school. All the windows are broken in Dan's bedroom. I lost my husband 4 years ago. It's terrible how you depend on someone else for strength, and then suddenly all the strength is gone and you're alone. Do you think Kathy's all right?
Annie's there. She'll be all right.
I don't fuss and fret about my children. When Frank died, he had the knack of entering into their world, of becoming part of them. Oh, I wish I could be like that. Even now, I wake up in the morning and I think, I must get Frank's breakfast. I miss talking to him. Kathy's a child, of course, and Mitch has his own life.
Would you like to rest now?
No. I feel as if I don't understand you at all, and I want so much to understand, because my son seems to be very fond of you, and I don't quite know how I feel about it.
Ooh.
I don't even know if I like you or not.
Oh!
I want to like whatever girl he chooses. Mitch has always done exactly what he wanted to do. I don't want to be left alone. I don't think I can bear to be left alone. This business with the birds has upset me. I don't know what I'd do if Mitch weren't here. Do you think she's all right at the school?
Would you like me to go for her?
Would you? I feel so much better.
Thanks for the tea.
You're welcome. You didn't drink a lot of it, but it's fine. This lady's car reminds me of Cruella DeVille. And she kind of reminds me of Cruella DeVille. You're an old class girl. Here but once a year. Reciprocity now. Reciprocity, hey Donnie Dossity, Ridnity Knockity. I'm gonna take my kid out of school if this is what they were learning. Girl, what's my history class? Oh, more. That song's annoying as hell. If you attack a raven, they'll remember forever and they'll call their friends to get you. She's like, how long is this song? Oh, Lord. Yeah, girl, it's the music. It's killing these birds' ears.
I'm not going into the playground until everybody is quieted down.
Close that door, quickly.
What?
Please.
She didn't look outside. What did she open the door?
We've got to get the children out of here.
Miss Daniels would like to see how we conduct ourselves during a fire drill. Going out of school now. I want those of you who live nearby to go directly home. I want you to go as quietly as possible. Do not make a sound.
I feel like they would have been safer in there. Wow. I wonder why they do that.
Oh, Daddy, there were hundreds of them. No, I don't. Just a minute. What's the name of the school?
Just the Bodega Bay School.
Well, I don't know how many children. 30 or 40? Is there a difference between crows and blackbirds?
There is very definitely a difference, miss.
Yes, they attacked the children. Attacked them.
They're both perching birds, of course, but quite different species.
Do you have the number at the Fawcett farm?
Right here in this book, miss.
I hardly think that either species would have sufficient intelligence to launch a massed attack. Birds are not aggressive creatures, miss. They bring beauty into the world. Mankind, rather, who insists upon making it difficult for life to exist upon this planet.
Mitch? Oh, I'm glad I caught you. Something terrible is
It's
happening.
the end of the world. Set the Lord God into the mountains and the hills and the rivers and the valleys.
Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink.
These weren't a few birds.
Oh, I didn't know there were many crows in Bodega Bay this time of year.
Been playing devil with my fishing boats.
Have you had trouble with gulls?
One of my boats did last week.
Could you ask them to lower their voices, please? They're frightening the children. We're scaring the kids. Keep it low.
Yeah, well, he's scaring me, too.
Really, let's be logical about this.
What were the crows after at the school? Think they were after the children.
For what purpose?
To kill them.
Birds have been on this planet, Miss Daniels, since Archaeopteryx. They'd wait all that time to start a war against humanity.
Came down on one of my boats. It could have been after the fish, just like you said.
Get yourselves guns and wipe them off the face of the earth.
That would hardly be possible.
Why not, Mrs. Bundy?
Because there are 8,650 species of birds in the world today, Mr. Carter. Contain more than 100 billion birds.
It's the end of the world.
These are gulls, crows, swifts.
I have never known birds of different species to flock together. We wouldn't have a chance. How could we possibly hope to fight them? Fighting a war, Sam.
War? Against who?
Against birds.
The young lady said she saw the attack at a school. Why don't you believe her? We're all sitting around here debating. What do you want them to do next? Crash through that window? Why don't you all go home? Lock your doors and windows. It's the fastest way to San Francisco.
The freeway, ma'am.
How do I find it?
Just got back from Dan Foss's place, that's
Yes, and
why.
he was killed last night by birds. What?
They think a burglar broke in and killed him.
How do you explain the dead birds all over the floor?
Are you coming?
Now take it easy, lady. There isn't a bird anywhere in sight. Say, something like this happened in Santa Cruz last year. The town was just covered with seagulls.
No one seemed to be upset about it. They were all gone next morning, just as though nothing at all had happened.
Well, hope you folks figure this thing out.
It's the end of the world.
I don't want to be an alarmist about
No one
this.
ever said you were, miss.
I think we're in real trouble. Bird attack, call it what you like. They're massing out there someplace and they'll be back. You can count on them.
If this is true, even if all
But don't
those
you
birds-
believe it's true?
No, Mitch, frankly, I don't.
About Santa Cruz. About seagulls getting lost in a fog and then flying in towards
Are
the
they coming
lights.
back?
How many fog this?
They're back. Where's that? Oh! Where's that old lady? Throw her outside.
Look at the gas. That man's lighting a cigar.
Oh, Lord.
Run! Watch out! Look out! Look out! Watch out!
here. Just right inside, sis. Oh. You guys okay? Why are y'all staring at them?
Why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? They said when you got here the whole thing started. What are you? Where did you come from? I think you're evil! Evil!
I think they're going.
We can get Kathy at Annie's now.
Girl, you better leave this town. They turn on you.
The crows again.
Shh. They can hear your heels, sis. Ooh. Oh no, Annie's dead.
Oh! Kathy! Where's Kathy?
Yo, that lady is laid out perfectly. Don't do it.
Mitch, don't! Oh, don't leave her there, Mitch.
A fly's right on her leg, too. Girl, you're making noise. Oh, Lord. You might as well make as much noise as you want. This car is so loud.
When we got back from taking Michelle home, all at once she pushed me inside, and they covered her. He pushed me inside.
How long have they been gathering there?
About 15 minutes. Strike, then disappear, and then start massing again. Want to try your father again?
No, I tried a little while ago. The phone's dead.
I'm getting something on the radio.
Come on.
Commissioner Nelson
the local stations. I think this is San Francisco.
In Bodega Bay early this morning, a large flock of crows attacked a group of children who were leaving the school. We understand there was another attack on the town. But this information is rather sketchy. On the national scene today, in Washington...
Was that all?
If there are bigger birds, Mitch, they'll get into the house.
Well, it's just a chance we'll have to take.
Maybe we ought to leave.
I think we're safe here for the time being. Let's get the wood in now.
What happens when you run out of wood? You don't know. When will you know? When we're all dead, Annie? If only your father was here. I'm sorry, Mitch.
Girl, what's happening right now?
Where are they heading?
Somewhere inland.
Santa Rosa?
About 10 minutes, y'all. You should be fine.
I bring the lovebirds in here.
No.
But, Mom, they're in a cage.
They're birds, aren't they?
You haven't learned your lesson, have you? Those birds are like, we didn't do nothing. We're not part of this.
Why are they doing this? The birds?
We don't know, honey.
I need some tea. Oh, she got to clean up. Why did we just see that her clean up?
I'm sick, Melanie. Hey, what? I'll go with you.
Let's go to every corner. Another corner. Oh, Lord. Another corner. We hit every corner, girl. Let's find another corner. Oh my God.
They're going.
What in the
Mitch?
Imagine she turns into a bird.
Listen, get some water, bandages, and antiseptic, quickly.
Bandages. It's terrible.
No. No, it's all right. No, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. No.
Shh. Kathy, get the lamp.
That's a big ass lamp, Kathy.
We've got to get her to a hospital.
We can't, Mitch. There's no place we can go.
To San Francisco. We'll go by way of Bay Hill Road, then we don't have to go through town. We can't stay here. She needs help. We better get started before another attack comes.
Mitch, see if you can get anything on the car radio.
Mitch, there's absolutely no way you could be able to get to the hospital. Just so you know. So they let him pass.
The bird attacks have subsided for the time being. Bodega Bay seems to be the center. No decision has been arrived at yet as to what the next step will be. It appears that the bird attacks come in waves with long intervals between.
Interesting. So everybody in his town has left, besides him. It's gonna end with them driving away. I'll be so irritated. I'll be so annoyed. I'll be like, all these birds just... Okay. Melanie, if you don't walk, girl. Somebody's typing ferociously. She just got hurt. I wonder what she's gonna do when she sees them. PTSD.
No. No.
So clearly it's like a certain time they feel like they want to attack.
Can I bring the lovebirds, Mitch? They haven't harmed anyone.
I'll be like, F those lovebirds. Oh, Melanie. You're not that bad, girl. That's a creepy sight. Why did they let them leave? Well. So, let's have a conversation, y'all. So, I always do smash or pass for movies to know if smash, we're gonna keep it. You know, we wanna watch that again. Pass, it wasn't really for me. I'm gonna go with pass. And this is the first time in a very long time that I've actually said pass to a movie. Now, I have to be very clear why I said pass. The movie is a classic movie. Absolutely is a classic movie. But for me to watch 2 hours of that, for me, I couldn't put myself through it again. And it's because I found it at most times rather than not boring. Now, I have to say, the overall theme of it about the birds turning on humanity and doing their due diligence in killing people, and the sounds and the visual effects, the sounds and the visual effects of the actual birds was frightening. If they gave us more birds attacking, they gave us more, I think the birds actually started attacking. This is an hour and something minute film. I think the birds actually first attacked. We saw one bird attack in the 26-minute mark. Then we had to wait for another set of birds to attack around the 50-minute mark. So about 25 minutes later. And then a whole colossal of birds attacked within the 54-minute mark. So, I mean, they actually gave it to you, but maybe there was just not that much happening. And this movie was based solely on, to frighten you in the horror field, the sounds and the visual effects. Now, I have to be also very clear that for me in 2024, this movie for me wasn't hitting. But in what did this movie, let me actually find out the true tea. The Birds movie came out when? Okay, so the Birds movie did come out in 1963. For 1963, for this movie to come out, it probably was frightening, y'all. It probably was super scary. And once again, classic. This movie really leaned heavy on the acting part. It gave face acting, it gave you lines, it gave you story, it gave you just pure acting. This is actually like old school, not even old school acting. This is like this movie gives you the fundamental of acting and what acting is all about and the art of acting. And that's what I appreciate. And I feel like if the movie was much shorter, and even if we kept the elements of how the slow dialogue and the millions of questions and, you know, the ones that, if we cut out, if this is a 2-hour movie, if we cut out at least 40 minutes of it, for me, if we had this movie about an hour and 10 minutes, 15 tops, and that's with end credits, I would probably say smash, because I would be able to watch it again. But to watch it for 2 hours is just no, not for me. I also want to know, okay, so the movies came out, and when did the birds movie come out? We already know. Hitchcock chose the Bodega Bay area for the foggy weather and skyline, which at the time was subdued and open. Was The Birds based on a true story? The Birds is also partly inspired by true events of a mass bird attack on a seaside town of Capitala, or whatever that is, in California on August 18th, 1961, when the residents of this town awoke to a scene that seemed straight out of a horror movie. Wow, I would love to dive into that to see what that was about. Let's see. What is the point of the Bird movie? These are just questions, because I'm sure that some of these questions, I'm sure, came to my mind. I had more of, why did the birds start attacking, and why did the birds not attack at certain times, and why did the birds let them go? But maybe the question is here. Hitchcock intended this picture of how a plague of birds almost ruins a peaceful community to be a symbolic of how the world might be destroyed, or can't say that word, by a sudden disorder of nature's machinery is not apparent in the picture. So I can see that. Just imagine if all the birds or all animals just started losing their shit and started attacking humanity. That would be kind of crazy. The Birds movie, all the domestic box office, it ranks 5,117. So the amount it made was, it made pretty much a lot of money. So I was like, well, how much? A lot. It made a lot of money. It's pretty good. What car did Melanie drove an Aston Martin D. Oh, those are expensive cars. Maybe that's why everybody was looking at her. I was like, why is somebody looking at her? It's probably because she was super rich. What is the moral of the Birds movie? They wanted to exact revenge against humanity for taking nature for granted. This interpretation of nature exacting revenge against humanity has only gotten more and more relevant over time. Amen. The message of the film of Birds handles our perceptions of one's weakness and how we underestimate one's potential power and then soon realize our misjudgments. Okay. I want to know why the Birds, and I guess is there a remake of this movie? I want to know why the birds, attacked. What did the birds have to do with the movie The Birds? The film provides no explanation. So there's that. And let's see, anything else going on? You guys want to know some fun facts about this movie? How about we dive into that? Let's see if I find any fun facts that's right up in my face. The ASPCA was on set the entire film shoot and was established to treat injured birds. So apparently some of the birds might have been injured. This is the only Hitchcock film to not have the end title card. Wow. Calculated on his part, the Hitchcock wanted the audience to feel that the terror would continue. Ooh. There was an alternative ending to the film that Hitchcock wanted to shoot, but was talked out of by the screenwriter Evan Hunter. Hitchcock originally wanted the ending to include a town on fire, another bird attack as Melanie, Mitch, Linda, and Kathy tried to get to the car and leave, and then a final wide panoramic shot of the Golden Gate Bridge covered in the birds. Hunter told Hitchcock it would take at least a month to film just this shot. Wow. Let's see. One may think that Tippi Hedren, whatever, is acting in the key attic scene. That lady. This was no acting. This was true terror. Assured by Hitchcock personally that the mechanical birds were being used in the attic on the first take, she walked into an attic filled with live birds, which were flying loose and also being flung at her by prop men. Oh my God. Over the course of this 5-day shoot for this one scene, live gulls, ravens, and crows were thrown at her until she was ultimately gouged on her cheek near her eye, at which point she was hospitalized for a week. Oh my God, they were taking live birds and throwing it at people. What? Birds were hooked onto her suit with rubber bands looped through fabric and wrapped around actual birds. Oh my Lord. I thought this was all, wow, I didn't know they used like they were doing this to actual birds. While filming the house attack scenes, the house was netted to keep the birds contained. Hammers with fake bird heads were used to hammer and peck through the wood doors to give the effect the birds were breaking through. 371 trick shots, as Hitchcock called them, were used in the birds. I can keep going because there's like so much. But if you guys want to know more fun facts about that, I actually, no shade, no tea, did not think they were doing that to real birds. That's actually quite sad. So now I want to give it a lower rating. No, I'm playing. But overall, it is a classic movie, and I'm sure people who actually were around when it first came out, if you were a child when it first came out, hey Google, how old are you now if you were born in 1963? I'm just kind of curious. And I can't do math. Okay, it took me a while just to find out how old somebody would be if they were born in 1963. It says you would be 60 something years old. Lord Jesus, and listen, I don't do well with math, so I'm just letting you know. Regardless, this was an okay movie. It is a classic. It wasn't for me, I would pass it. But I'm sure a lot of people out there probably would say smash, they loved it, and I love you for loving it. And I do appreciate the people who actually brought it to life and did all their due diligence to give such a horror film around that time. So I respect it. I think it was amazing to at least watch one time, and I hope if you guys love it, keep on watching The Birds. Thank you guys so much for being here. Check out all my other reactions while you're here, and until next time, I'm off this.
You gotta choose a side. You gotta do what's right.
Look, I ain't got no time to be hanging around. Nobody trying to figure out if they good or evil. I'm fighting the crime, 70 lives, one at a time. I'm killing the rhymes. I do it for the people. I'm Peter Parker running through the 6 with a bag full of